Dear beloved, your eyes are lenses that shape your world. Like crystal balls, they reflect what is present and what is forming. Whatever words and images you hold gently within your gaze become the lens you perceive through. Whatever word or image you repeatedly invite into your eyes, tunes your entire nervous system to that frequency. When a word is softly held within your eyes, something subtle occurs. Your nerves behind your eyes relax, listen, and attunes your nervous system to that frequency. For example, when you repeat the word positive, a positive reality will present itself to you. Your feelings responds first, then your emotions follow, and your perception quietly rearranges itself around that tone. Your eyes sympathize with the vibrations you hold. Your sympathetic nervous system aligns your nerves to that vibration. The repetition of a word is a ritual. It is an invocation that calls the nervous system into coherence and invites the subconscious to participate. Each repetition lays another thread in the fabric of perception, weaving a steady rhythm that your nervous system follows. Your eyes see dollars when they learn its frequency. When the feeling in the word dollar lives within your eyes, your vision reorganizes itself to dollar frequency. What your eyes are invited to hold repeatedly also becomes the atmosphere above you. The atmosphere above you is formed by your frequency. The atmosphere above you creates sequences of events and the timelines through which financial blessings are revealed as sequences of events. Repetition is the key that deepens this attunement. Each repetition of a word is rhythmic. It creates a pulse the subconscious understands. With each cycle, the nervous system synchronizes more completely, as if finding a familiar tempo. This is why repetitions becomes ritual. It is an invocation of sight. When the word dollar is repeated, dollar, 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 or positive, 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 and gently held within the eyes, the feeling of the word settles into the eyes. Your eyes become lenses that shape perception of the world. The eyes absorb it as a frequency. That frequency becomes emotional tones. Emotional tones becomes a lens. And through that lens, perception changes. Soon, visions are revealed. Ideas related to dollars appear in the mind's eye. Pathways, opportunities, strategies, and associations surface naturally, as if illuminated from within. The eyes, trained through repetition, see the world differently. What was once invisible becomes noticeable. What once seemed distant feels reachable. Listening to the word dollar repeatedly has this effect. The sound enters, settles, and finds its resting place behind the eyes. There, it blends with feelings. Feelings becomes visions. Visions becomes directions. The eyes look through those frequencies. In this way, the repetition of a word is entrainment. It teaches the nervous system what rhythm to follow, what emotional state to stabilize within, and what reality to see through. The eyes learn the word. The mind learns the vision. And perception organizes itself around what has been faithfully held. Thus, the eyes become crystal balls once more, quiet, receptive, and revealing, showing perceptions shaped by the frequencies we choose to gaze through. The eyes are living instruments of perception. Like crystal balls, they see what exists and perceive what is being formed. Whatever is repeatedly held within the eyes becomes the lens through which the world is interpreted, and through interpretation, experience takes shape. When a word is softly placed within the gaze, the nervous system listens. The muscles around the eyes relaxes, the breath steadies, and feelings quietly gather behind the vision. Words held in the eyes become sensations. Sensations becomes emotion. Emotions becomes frequencies. And frequencies becomes the reality we look through. Repetition is the sacred mechanism of alignment. Each repetition of a word gently tunes the emotional body, bringing it into harmony with a single vibration. This is attention settles into coherence. The subconscious recognizes repetition as instruction, and the nervous system synchronizes itself to the rhythm being offered. When the word dollar is repeated, dollar, 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 and held within the gaze, its feeling live in the eyes. The eyes start to resonate with the idea of financial flow, value, exchange, and increase. That resonance becomes a lens, and through that lens, the mind's eye reveal visions related to dollars. Ideas emerge naturally. Images of opportunities, resources, connections, and pathways appears. The eyes, trained through repetition, notice what they once overlooked. Possibilities that align with financial blessings step forward from the background, illuminated by the frequencies now held within perception. Listening to the repetition of the word dollar deepens this process. Sound enters the body, settles into feeling, and finds its resting place behind the eyes. There, it merges with vision. The feelings carried by the word become the atmosphere through which the eyes look. That atmosphere settles above you and quietly organizes sequences of events towards accumulation, growth, and riches. This is how financial blessings begin within. The eyes learn a word. The emotional body stabilizes around its frequency. Perception adjusts accordingly. And vision, both inner and outer, reflect new patterns of possibility. The repetition of a word is a ritual. It is an invocation that calls the nervous system into coherence and invites the subconscious to participate. Each repetition lays another thread in the fabric of perception, weaving a steady rhythm that the entire being follows. Through this rhythm, the eyes become crystal balls once again, clear, receptive, and focused, revealing visions of alignment. And as perception shifts, financial blessings move from distant hope into visible, imaginable, and attainable reality. The eyes are crystal balls of perception, quietly shaping reality by what they are trained to hold. When the word dollar rests gently in the gaze, the nervous system attunes to its rhythm, and financial blessings begin forming as inner images before they appear as outer results. Repetition is the language the subconscious understands. As dollar, dollar, dollar is softly repeated and held within the eyes, emotions settle into coherence, and perception reveal pathways aligned with financial increase. The repetition of a word is a ritual. It is an invocation that calls the nervous system into coherence and invites the subconscious to participate. Each repetition lays another thread in the fabric of perception, weaving a steady rhythm that the entire being follows. The eyes see dollars when they learn its frequency. When the feeling of the word dollar lives behind the eyes, vision reorganizes itself to notice opportunities that were once invisible. Each repetition of a financial word becomes a ritual of alignment. The eyes absorb the vibration, the emotions stabilize around it, and the mind's eye project images of accumulation and flow. When sound enters through listening, dollar, 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 it finds its resting place behind the eyes. There, the feeling becomes a lens, and that lens naturally generates ideas for growth and riches. The eyes are trained through repetition just as a crystal is tuned through focus. Holding the word dollar in the gaze teaches perception to search for value, exchange, and increase everywhere it looks. Financial blessings begin as emotional tones. As the eyes hold a word consistently, the nervous system synchronizes to its rhythm, creating a steady inner atmosphere where riches feels natural. The mind follows the eyes. When the eyes are filled with the frequency of dollar, the mind reveals visions of practical steps, inspired actions, and financial clarity. Repeating a word is an invocation. Each cycle of dollar, dollar, dollar or positive, 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 calls the subconscious into cooperation, aligning emotion, perception, and intention toward financial well-being. The eyes are portals of imagination. When they softly cradle a financial word, images arise without effort, showing new ways to attract, manage, and multiply resources. As feelings settle into the eyes, perception becomes selective. The crystal eyes begin filtering reality through riches, highlighting solutions instead of limitations. Financial insight emerges when repetition creates rhythm. The nervous system relaxes into that rhythm, and the eyes reveal patterns of opportunity woven into everyday life. The word held in the eyes becomes the world seen through them. When dollar is the chosen word, vision naturally aligns with growth, prosperity, and accumulation. The ritual of repetition teaches the body what to expect. As the eyes repeatedly receive the same vibration, financial blessings feel familiar, attainable, and close at hand. When the eyes are treated as crystal balls and trained with sacred repetition, they do more than imagine wealth, they reveal it. Through steady focus, aligned emotion, and rhythmic invocation, financial blessings move from inner vision into lived experience. The eyes are quiet oracles, crystal balls that respond to what they are asked to hold. When the word dollar is gently placed within the gaze, the nervous system organizes itself around the expectation of financial flow. Whatever the eyes repeatedly cradle becomes familiar to the emotions. As dollar, dollar, dollar is softly repeated, feeling settles into the eyes and perception search for reflections of that frequency in the world. The eyes learn through rhythm. Each repetition of a financial word creates a pulse the subconscious follows, aligning inner vision with outer opportunity. When the word dollar is listened to and felt behind the eyes, imagination awakens. Images of exchange, value, and increase surface naturally, as if the eyes themselves are revealing guidance. The gaze becomes a tuning fork. By holding a word steadily within the eyes, emotions resonate with it, and perception vibrate in harmony with financial blessings. Repetition transforms sound into sight. As dollar, dollar, dollar or positive, 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 echoes within the eyes, mental images arise that suggest new ways to earn, save, and grow resources. The eyes are trained by consistency. Each time a financial word is returned to the gaze, the nervous system relaxes into alignment, making riches feel normal and reachable. Feelings stored in the eyes shape the future. When those feelings carry the tone of prosperity, the eyes begin projecting visions that guide action toward accumulation. Listening is a form of seeing. As the repetition of dollar enters through the ears and settles behind the eyes, perception quietly shifts toward recognizing financial openings. The repetition of a word is a ritual of focus. It invites the subconscious to cooperate, syncing emotion, imagination, and perception into one financial intention. The eyes create wealth, they reveal it. Holding a financial word with softness allows visions to emerge without effort, showing practical and inspired paths forward. Every repeated word lays a pattern in perception. When the pattern is dollar, the eyes notice riches woven into everyday moments. The nervous system trusts repetition. As it synchronizes with the rhythm of a financial word, emotions stabilize, and clarity around dollars naturally increases. The crystal eyes reflect what they are shown. Feed them words of wealth, and they return images of opportunity, direction, and expansion. Financial blessings begin as inner images. When the eyes are trained through ritual repetition, they become instruments of revelation, showing not only what is possible, but how to bring it into form. The eyes are living crystal balls, revealing alignment. What they repeatedly hold becomes the pattern through which financial blessings appear. When a word is softly rested within the gaze, the nervous system listens. As dollar, dollar, dollar repeats, emotions settle and perception gently reorders itself toward prosperity. The eyes learn vibration before logic. By holding a financial word in vision, feeling forms first, and from that feeling, ideas and opportunities naturally emerge. Repetition teaches the body what to expect. As the word dollar becomes familiar to the eyes, riches feel normal and accessible. Sound becomes sight when repetition is steady. Listening to dollar, dollar, dollar or positive, 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 allows the feeling to sink behind the eyes, where it turns into inner images of growth. The eyes act as lenses shaped by emotion. When those emotions carry the tone of financial increase, perception fills to life through opportunity. Each repetition is a quiet invocation. The subconscious responds by aligning attention, imagination, and action toward the accumulation of resources. The crystal eyes attunes to visions to receive them. Holding a word gently allows images of financial flow to arise without effort. The nervous system synchronizes to rhythm. When the rhythm is a financial word, stability replaces tension, and clarity replaces doubt. Feelings that live in the eyes guide the mind. As dollar becomes a settled emotion, vision reveals practical steps toward riches. Training the eyes trains perception. Through repetition, they become skilled at recognizing value, exchange, and opportunity everywhere. Financial blessings form first as inner reflections. The eyes mirror the frequency they hold and return it as vision and insight. The repetition of a word is instructive. Each cycle refines the emotional lens through which dollars are seen and understood. As feelings of prosperity stabilize in the gaze, imagination awakens, revealing creative and sustainable ways to grow wealth. When the eyes are honored as crystal balls and fed rhythmic words of riches, they reveal a future shaped by clarity, alignment, and financial blessing. The eyes are crystal vessels of awareness, quietly shaping reality through repetition. What they hold again and again becomes the lens through which financial blessings reveal themselves. When a word is placed gently within the gaze, the nervous system softens and listens. As dollar, dollar, dollar repeats, emotions find order and perception turns toward riches. The eyes absorb frequency before meaning. Holding a financial word within them allows feeling to form first, and from that feeling, vision is born. Repetition creates emotional stability. As the word dollar becomes familiar to the eyes, fear dissolves and confidence around dollars naturally rises. Listening to dollar, dollar, dollar settles the sound into the eyes. There it becomes sensation, and sensation transforms into images of financial flow. The gaze becomes a sculptor of perception. When it is trained on riches, it begins shaping thoughts and ideas aligned with accumulation. Each repetition is a quiet summoning. The subconscious synchronizes with the rhythm and begins revealing financial insight through inner vision. The eyes see wealth, they relax into it. Holding a word softly invites visions of opportunity without effort. Feelings stored behind the eyes become the filter of reality. When those feelings carry prosperity, the world appears full of possibility. The nervous system entrains to rhythm. With each repetition of dollar, emotional coherence forms and clarity around dollars increases. The eyes are trained by patience. Returning to the same word again and again teaches perception to recognize value wherever it appears. Financial blessings arise as reflections of inner focus. The eyes mirror what they hold and return it as insight and direction. Repetition transforms intention into habit. As the eyes grow accustomed to a financial word, riches becomes a familiar expectation. The crystal eyes reveal pathways. Through steady repetition, they illuminate practical and inspired ways to grow resources. When the eyes are honored as crystal balls and guided by rhythmic invocation, financial blessings shift from distant ideas into visible, attainable reality. The eyes are crystal balls of becoming. What they are invited to hold repeatedly, it becomes the atmosphere through which financial blessings are attuned and revealed. When a word rests softly in the eyes, the nervous system harmonizes. Repeating dollar, dollar, dollar gently tunes emotion into a steady frequency of increase. The eyes resonate. As a financial word is held in the gaze, feeling settles first, and from that feeling, images of opportunity quietly emerge. Repetition calms the inner waters. With each return to the word dollar, emotional noise fades and perception becomes clear enough to receive guidance. Listening to the repetition of dollar, dollar, dollar or positive, 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 allows the sound to sink behind the eyes, where it becomes a felt sense of value, flow, and possibility. The eyes learn what to look for through ritual. When trained on words of riches, they recognize pathways to wealth hidden in ordinary moments. A word held in the eyes becomes a lens. Through that lens, the world rearranges itself, showing where dollars moves, gathers, and multiplies. The repetition of a word is an invitation to coherence. The subconscious accepts the rhythm and begins aligning thoughts, feelings, and perception toward financial gain. The crystal eyes reveal what emotion prepares. As feelings of prosperity stabilize behind the gaze, visions of accumulation arise without force. The eyes store frequency like memory. When dollar becomes familiar within them, riches no longer feels distant, it feels expected. Financial insight is born in stillness. Softly holding a word in the eyes allows imagination to speak in images rather than effort. Each repetition strengthens the signal. As the nervous system synchronizes to the rhythm of wealth, perception sharpens toward profitable ideas. The eyes are disciplined through gentleness. Returning again and again to the same word teaches patience, focus, and financial clarity. What the eyes are fed consistently becomes their prophecy. When they are nourished with riches, they begin reflecting solutions and strategies. When words become rituals and vision becomes rhythm, the eyes fulfill their ancient role as crystal balls, revealing financial blessings already forming within the field of perception. The eyes are crystal spheres of focus, revealing futures shaped by what they are taught to hold. When the gaze rests on riches, perception quietly reorganizes to reflect it. A word placed gently in the eyes becomes a signal to the nervous system. As dollar, dollar, dollar repeats, emotions settle into a rhythm of financial ease. The eyes respond to frequency more than meaning. Holding the word dollar within them allows feeling to tune perception before thought intervenes. Repetition steadies the emotional body. Each return to dollar smooths in attention and opens space for clearer financial insight. Listening to dollar, dollar, dollar allows sound to descend into sensation. That sensation finds a home behind the eyes and begins shaping vision. The gaze becomes a filter for opportunity. When trained on words of riches, it highlights pathways to value that once went unnoticed. A word held in the eyes becomes a lens of interpretation. Through it, the world appears generous, responsive, and full of potential. Ritual repetition invites cooperation from the subconscious. The nervous system synchronizes to the rhythm and begins offering images of growth. The crystal eyes reveal what emotion permits. As feelings of prosperity stabilize, visions of accumulation arise naturally. The eyes remember what they practice. When dollar is familiar to them, riches feels expected rather than imagined. Financial clarity grows from still focus. Softly holding a word in the gaze allows intuition to speak in pictures and impressions. Each repetition strengthens coherence. The emotional state aligns, perception sharpens, and money-related ideas gain definition. The eyes are trained by patience. Returning again and again to the same word teaches consistency, the same quality that builds wealth. What the eyes absorb becomes guidance. Fed with riches, they return strategies, timing, and awareness. When repetition becomes ritual, the eyes fulfill their role as crystal balls, revealing financial blessings as unfolding realities shaped by focused perception. The eyes are crystal balls of tuning. What they are asked to hold repeatedly becomes the frequency through which financial blessings reveal themselves. When a word is gently placed within the gaze, the nervous system settles into listening. As dollar, dollar, dollar repeats, emotion finds balance and perception leans toward increase. The eyes absorb feeling faster than thought. Holding a financial word within them allows emotion to set the tone before the mind analyze. Repetition is how the eyes are educated. Each return to the word dollar trains perception to expect value, flow, and exchange. Listening to dollar, dollar, dollar or positive, 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 allows sound to melt into sensation. That sensation pools behind the eyes and quietly becomes vision. The gaze is a lens shaped by rhythm. When rhythm is consistent, the subconscious aligns and begins offering images of financial opportunity. A word softly held in the eyes becomes a doorway. Through that doorway appear ideas, connections, and pathways aligned with riches. The repetition of a word calms emotional static. As feeling stabilizes, the crystal eyes reveal clearer and more practical financial images. The eyes attunes to wealth to recognize it. Trained on riches, they notice what was always present but previously unseen. Feeling settles into the eyes like light into glass. When that light carries the tone of prosperity, perception reflects it back as guidance. Each repetition of dollar strengthens coherence between emotion and imagination. From this coherence, accumulation strategies naturally arise. The eyes remember what they practice daily. When they grow familiar with financial words, riches feels natural rather than distant. Ritual repetition invites the subconscious to participate. The nervous system synchronizes to the rhythm and begins organizing awareness around dollars flow. The crystal eyes reveal movement before manifestation. They show directions, impulses, and insights long before results appear in form. When words become rhythm and rhythm becomes vision, the eyes fulfill their ancient role as crystal balls, quietly revealing financial blessings shaped by steady focus, aligned emotion, and disciplined perception. The eyes are crystal balls of resonance, revealing frequency. What is repeatedly held within the gaze quietly becomes the world that is seen. When a word rests softly in the eyes, the nervous system tunes itself. Repeating dollar, dollar, dollar steadies emotion and invites financial clarity. The eyes respond to feeling before thought. As the word dollar settles behind them, emotion becomes the lens through which opportunity appears. Repetition is a form of training. Each return to dollar teaches the eyes what to search for and the mind what to recognize. Listening to dollar, dollar, dollar allows sound to dissolve into sensation. That sensation pools behind the eyes and begins shaping inner vision. The gaze is programmable. When trained on riches, it highlights value, flow, and exchange everywhere it looks. A word gently held in the eyes becomes a tuning dial. As it turns, perception aligns with financial increase rather than lack. Repetition soothes emotional resistance. As feeling stabilizes, the crystal eyes begin revealing images of accumulation and growth. The eyes invent wealth when they notice it. Once trained, they recognize opportunities that were previously overlooked. Feelings that live in the eyes become filters of reality. When those feelings carry prosperity, perception naturally follows profitable paths. Each repetition of dollar is a rhythmic instruction to the subconscious. The nervous system synchronizes and begins offering insights in images. The eyes remember what they are fed consistently. When nourished with riches, they return guidance instead of doubt. Holding a word softly is an act of trust. In that softness, visions arise without force, showing practical ways to grow resources. The ritual of repetition turns intention into atmosphere. That atmosphere surrounds perception and gently reshapes financial behavior. When words become rhythm and rhythm becomes vision, the eyes fulfill their role as crystal balls, revealing financial blessings already forming within aligned emotion, focused perception, and steady attention. The eyes are crystal spheres of perception, quietly reflecting the vibrations they are asked to hold. When trained on dollar, 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 or positive, 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 they reveal pathways toward financial increase. When a word rests softly in the gaze, the nervous system attune. Repetition turns emotion into a steady frequency, aligning perception with riches. The eyes resonate with feeling before thought. Holding a financial word allows emotions to tune perception, producing visions of wealth naturally. Repetition is a form of instruction. Each return to dollar guides the subconscious to recognize patterns and opportunities that were once invisible. Listening to dollar, dollar, dollar lets the sound sink behind the eyes, transforming into sensation that generates images of value and flow. The gaze becomes a lens of creation. When focused on riches, it filters experience to highlight financial possibilities and resources. A word softly held in the eyes becomes an energetic compass. It directs attention, imagination, and emotion toward accumulation and growth. Ritual repetition harmonizes the nervous system. As feelings stabilize in the eyes, visions of financial opportunity appear effortless. The eyes attunes to wealth to recognize it. Through repeated focus, previously hidden opportunities become visible. Emotions carried in the eyes shape perception. When those emotions vibrate prosperity, the world seems generous, responsive, and abundant. Each repetition of dollar is a rhythm the subconscious learns. The nervous system synchronizes, and visions of financial strategies unfold. The eyes remember what they are trained to hold. When familiar with riches, they reflect guidance, insight, and clarity. Soft attention to a word in the gaze invites vision without force. The crystal eyes reveal practical ways to grow and accumulate resources. Repetition transforms intention into atmosphere. That atmosphere reshapes perception and encourages alignment with financial blessings. When words become rhythm and rhythm becomes vision, the eyes act as crystal balls, revealing wealth and riches already forming within focus, emotion, and steady attention. The eyes are crystal spheres, reflecting the vibrations they are trained to hold. Focused on dollar, 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 or positive, 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 they reveal financial patterns waiting to be recognized. A word softly held in the gaze settles the nervous system. Repetition aligns emotion and perception, allowing visions of riches to emerge effortless. The eyes first feel, then see. As dollar resides behind the gaze, emotion becomes the lens through which opportunities for wealth naturally appear. Repetition is a quiet instruction to the subconscious. Each cycle of dollar trains the mind and body to resonate with financial flow. Listening to dollar, dollar, Dollar allows sound to transform into sensation, which then translates into vivid images of accumulation and prosperity. The gaze becomes a filter of reality. When focused on riches, the eyes highlight pathways, ideas, and actions aligned with financial increase. Words held in the eyes act as energetic magnets. Each repetition draws thoughts, intuition, and emotion into alignment with wealth creation. Ritual repetition harmonizes the nervous system. As feelings stabilize in the eyes, visions of dollars and opportunity naturally manifest. The eyes attunes to wealth to reveal it. Through consistent focus, opportunities that were invisible before become noticeable. Emotions anchored in the eyes create a lens for perception. When those feelings vibrate prosperity, financial insights appear spontaneously. Each repetition of dollar is a rhythm the subconscious internalizes, syncing body, mind, and emotion to recognize avenues for accumulation. The eyes remember what they are trained to hold. Repeated focus on riches teaches them to reflect insight, strategy, and clarity in financial matters. Soft attention to a word within the gaze allows imagination to produce visions of wealth without effort or strain. Repetition transforms intention into an energetic atmosphere. This atmosphere surrounds perception and aligns it with financial blessings. When words become rhythm, rhythm becomes vision, and vision becomes focus. The eyes fulfill their role as crystal balls, revealing financial riches already forming within attention, emotion, and aligned perception. The eyes are crystal spheres that reveal riches when focused with intention. By softly holding the word dollar in the gaze, visions of prosperity form. Repetition in the eyes aligns emotion with perception. Dollar, dollar, dollar becomes a rhythm that tunes the nervous system toward financial clarity. When a word rests gently in the eyes, feelings settle into resonance. The crystal eyes reflect the frequency of wealth, revealing opportunities unseen before. The eyes perceive vibration before form. As dollar is concentrated upon, emotion shapes vision, and strategies for accumulation naturally appear. Listening to the repetition of dollar, dollar, dollar allows the sound to be absorbed behind the eyes, turning into visions of financial flow. Repetition trains the eyes as lenses of manifestation. Through ritual focus, perception highlight pathways toward increased resources. Each word softly held is an invocation. The subconscious and nervous system synchronize to the rhythm, guiding attention toward prosperity. The crystal eyes attunes to wealth to receive it. Holding financial words gently allows images of riches to surface effortless. Emotional tone in the eyes becomes a lens. When feelings of wealth stabilize there, perception naturally reflects opportunities for growth. The eyes remember repetition. Words like dollar imprinted in the gaze teach the mind to recognize riches wherever it arises. Vision emerges from feeling. By repeatedly holding words in the eyes, emotional alignment produces inner images of financial increase. The ritual of repetition transforms intention into frequency. This frequency becomes the lens through which a world of dollars is attuned. The eyes act as crystal balls, showing wealth from the frequencies forming within the focus and nervous system. Each return to a word like dollar strengthens clarity. The nervous system, emotions, and perception coalesce into a coherent vision of financial opportunity. When eyes are trained through gentle repetition, the rhythm of words, the alignment of feelings, and the clarity of perception combine, revealing financial blessings as reflections of the frequency held within. The eyes are crystal balls of intention. What they repeatedly hold becomes the lens through which financial blessings emerge. Softly holding the word dollar in the gaze allows the nervous system to harmonize, aligning feelings and perception with prosperity. Repetition is a ritual of attunement. Dollar, dollar, dollar imprints a rhythm that the subconscious follows, producing visions of wealth. The eyes feel before they see. As words of riches rest in the gaze, emotions shape vision, revealing pathways to accumulation. Listening to repeated words like dollar, dollar, dollar allows sensation to pool behind the eyes, translating into mental images of opportunity. The gaze becomes a filter of reality. When focused on riches, the eyes highlight avenues for financial growth previously unnoticed. Each repetition strengthens the connection between feeling and vision. Soft attention to a word transforms intention into a perceptual frequency. The crystal eyes attunes to wealth and recognize it. Focused attention allows opportunities to emerge naturally from the field of perception. Emotions carried in the eyes shape the lens of experience. Prosperity felt in vision reflects as actionable insight in reality. Words held in the eyes act as magnets. Repetition aligns mind, emotion, and perception to attract financial opportunities. Ritual repetition calms the nervous system. As stability arises in the eyes, visions of wealth and accumulation manifest effortless. The eyes remember what they practice. Training them on words of riches teaches the mind to recognize and generate financial blessings. Soft attention allows visions to arise without effort. Holding words in the gaze invites clarity, strategy, and inspiration. Each cycle of repetition transforms the frequency of perception. The world becomes a reflection of riches, guided by the crystal eyes. When words, rhythm, and vision align, the eyes become instruments of manifestation, revealing financial blessings already forming within the focused mind, harmonized emotion, and synchronized nervous system. The eyes are crystal spheres of perception. What they repeatedly hold becomes the lens through which financial blessings are seen and understood. Softly placing the word dollar in the gaze allows the nervous system to align, attuning emotion, feeling, and perception to riches. Repetition is a rhythm of manifestation. Dollar, dollar, dollar teaches the subconscious to recognize and respond to the frequency of wealth. The eyes feel before they see. As a word of riches rests in the gaze, emotion forms first, creating visions of opportunity and accumulation. Listening to dollar, dollar, dollar transforms sound into sensation behind the eyes, producing mental images of financial flow and growth. The gaze becomes a lens of focus. Trained on riches, it illuminates hidden avenues for resources, money, and opportunity. Words held in the eyes are like energetic magnets. Each repetition draws thoughts, emotions, and imagination into alignment with wealth creation. Ritual repetition calms the nervous system. When feelings stabilize in the eyes, visions of financial increase and strategies naturally emerge. The eyes attunes to wealth to reveal it. Through repeated focus, opportunities for accumulation appear that were once invisible. Emotions anchored in the eyes shape the lens of perception. Prosperity felt in vision reflects as clarity and actionable insight in life. Each repetition of dollar becomes a rhythm the subconscious internalizes, synchronizing body, mind, and vision with financial possibility. The eyes remember what they are trained to hold. Repeated attention to words of riches teaches them to reflect clarity, guidance, and strategy. Soft attention allows visions to emerge without force. The crystal eyes reveal practical methods to grow, gather, and multiply resources. Repetition transforms intention into frequency. That frequency becomes the lens through which reality reflects riches and flow. When words, vision, and rhythm align, the eyes function as crystal balls, revealing financial blessings already forming within focus, emotional resonance, and synchronized perception. The eyes are crystal spheres of perception. Whatever they hold repeatedly becomes the frequency through which financial blessings are revealed. Softly holding the word dollar in the gaze allows the nervous system to attune, aligning feelings, emotions, and perception with riches. Repetition is a rhythm of invocation. Dollar, dollar, dollar teaches the subconscious to resonate with the energy of wealth and financial flow. The eyes perceive vibration before logic. As words of riches rest in the gaze, emotion forms first, producing visions of opportunity and accumulation. Listening to dollar, dollar, dollar transforms sound into sensation behind the eyes, which manifests as clear images of financial possibilities. The gaze is a lens that filters reality. When focused on riches, it highlights pathways and opportunities for financial growth. Words held in the eyes act as energetic magnets. Each repetition draws thought, feeling, and imagination into alignment with prosperity. Ritual repetition soothes the nervous system. As emotions settle in the eyes, visions of money, opportunity, and strategy naturally appear. The crystal eyes attunes to wealth to recognize it. With repeated focus, opportunities previously unseen come into view. Emotions anchored in the eyes shape the lens of experience. Prosperity felt in vision reflects as clarity and actionable insight in reality. Each repetition of dollar is a pulse the subconscious internalizes, synchronizing mind, emotion, and perception with financial possibility. The eyes remember what they practice. Training them on words of riches teaches perception to recognize and generate financial blessings. Soft attention allows visions to emerge effortless. The crystal eyes reveal practical ways to increase, gather, and multiply resources. Repetition transforms intention into frequency. That frequency becomes the lens through which wealth and opportunity are perceived and attuned. When words, rhythm, and vision align, the eyes act as crystal balls, revealing financial blessings already forming within focused attention, harmonized emotions, and synchronized perception. The eyes are crystal balls of perception. What they hold in focus repeatedly becomes the frequency through which financial blessings manifest. Softly resting the word dollar in the gaze aligns the nervous system, emotions, and perception with the flow of riches. Repetition is a rhythm of manifestation. Dollar, dollar, dollar becomes a ritual that trains the subconscious to recognize wealth. The eyes feel before they see. As words of riches are concentrated upon, emotion shapes vision, producing images of opportunities for growth. Listening to dollar, dollar, dollar allows the sound to settle in the eyes, transforming into visions of money, exchange, and accumulation. The gaze is a lens that filters reality. Focused on riches, it illuminates pathways and opportunities for financial increase. Words held in the eyes are energetic magnets. Repetition draws thoughts, imagination, and feelings into alignment with prosperity. Ritual repetition stabilizes the nervous system. As feelings settle, visions of financial opportunity naturally unfold. The eyes attunes to wealth to reveal it. Consistent focus brings hidden opportunities into clear view. Emotions anchored in the eyes shape the lens of experience. Prosperity felt in vision becomes clarity and actionable insight. Each repetition of dollar pulses through the subconscious, synchronizing mind, feeling, and perception with financial possibility. The eyes remember what they are trained to hold. Repeated attention to words of riches teaches perception to recognize and generate financial blessings. Gentle focus allows visions to emerge without effort. The crystal eyes reveal practical strategies for accumulation and growth. Repetition transforms intention into frequency. That frequency becomes the lens through which financial flow is perceived and attuned. When words, rhythm, and vision align, the eyes fulfill their role as crystal balls, revealing financial blessings already forming within focused attention, harmonized emotion, and synchronized perception. The eyes are crystal spheres of insight. When you softly hold the word dollar within your gaze, the nervous system and emotions attune to riches. Repetition is a quiet rhythm. As you softly repeat dollar, 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 or positive, 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 the subconscious harmonizes, and visions of financial flow emerge behind your eyes. The eyes feel before they see. Concentrating on financial words allows emotion to form a lens, through which opportunities for wealth appear naturally. Each return to the word dollar is a gentle invocation, a ritual that aligns your inner rhythm with the frequency of prosperity. Listening to repeated words like dollar, dollar, dollar transforms sound into sensation, which your eyes translate into visions of accumulation and growth. The gaze becomes a lens of creation. When focused on riches, it highlights resources, connections, and opportunities previously unseen. Words softly held in the eyes become magnets. Each repetition draws thought, feeling, and imagination into alignment with financial manifestation. Ritual repetition settles the nervous system. When emotion stabilizes in the eyes, visions of dollars and strategies for increase naturally form. The crystal eyes attunes to wealth to reveal it. Through consistent attention, hidden opportunities appear as clear, perceivable possibilities. Emotion anchored in the eyes shapes perception. Prosperity felt in the gaze reflects as insight, clarity, and guidance in financial matters. Each cycle of repetition pulses through the subconscious, synchronizing your mind, nervous system, and vision to recognize and receive riches. The eyes remember what they are trained to hold. Daily attention to words of wealth teaches them to reflect guidance, strategy, and clarity. Soft attention allows visions to arise effortless. The crystal eyes reveal practical ways to increase, gather, and multiply financial resources. Repetition transforms intention into frequency. That frequency becomes the lens through which a world of dollars is perceived and attuned as generous and responsive. When words, rhythm, and vision converge, the eyes become instruments of manifestation, crystal balls revealing financial blessings already forming within aligned emotion, focused attention, and synchronized perception.